Hi, and welcome everybody to our Kingdom Coffee Talk. So I hope everybody is staying safe and staying healthy. We will be going over something very interesting today as the country moves towards phase 4 and from phase 3 to phase 4 and hopefully completely open very soon. A lot of people are looking at new hobbies or new activities to get involved in. So today we're going to be looking at diving, right? Diving for beginners especially. And we have a very special guest. Her name is Pagan Chee. She's a certified diver. I've no experience in diving, so I'll invite her in and let her give a brief introduction on her and her diving experience. Okay, welcome, Pagan.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Pagan.
Wow,
I'm
that's nice.
FBI. Yeah, thank you. I need to attract attention, underwater and above ground.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
so much for taking the time to be with us today. So,
my
because why
pleasure.
why we decided on this topic is that we were getting some questions from our clients about diving, and then because it led to insurance for divers and whatnot, then they were asking, do we know anything about diving? So that's why we
Mm.
chose to have this session today and invited you, the professional, to talk more. So, if you don't mind, you just give us a brief introduction on yourself and your diving history.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Pagan. I'm FBI open water scuba instructor. I think I my first open water certificate was maybe 17 years, 14 years ago. 17 years ago. Yeah. But I have
Wow.
been actively diving for 10 years.
All right.
And yeah, so I have been dive master for 4 years, and this year I finally got my instructorship.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So please support me if you want diving, okay?
What exactly does it entail to become a dive master? You mentioned you're certified in that. So what exactly is that?
Okay, so when beginners, you are all called open water, right? Then after that, you will level up, you become an advanced diver. Level
Okay.
up again, you become a rescue diver. Then, if you want to level up in a semi-professional way, it's called a dive master. After you did your dive master, then you go to instructor level.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So what made you go into diving in the first place, right from the beginning?
I always love the sea, the sun, the beach, the sea. And you're always curious like how marine animals look like if they are underwater, if you can get face to face with them. I think that's what attracted me to that from the beginning until now. Until
Right.
now.
So
Yes.
when you started, did you just decide to go at it on your own, or was there like a few of you who had the same intention?
Yeah, actually I went with a friend that two of us just go and get our license. Yeah,
Okay.
just like that.
So so yeah, like I mentioned, we have some people who are looking to start diving and whatnot, right? What would
Mhm.
you advise them would be the steps to take? Should they just straight away? I mean, because you can't just go to an island and go diving. You have to have some form of certification first, correct?
No, you can actually go to an island and learn diving, but I must say that's a bit difficult now, lah. Okay,
Okay.
and when you
Yeah.
go there, it's quite an intense training if you do like that. So what you can do is find a good instructor, yeah, because what a good instructor teach you lasts you for your entire diving, like your diving experience and stuff like that, and then let them train you in the pool first. Let's say what I normally do is that I will train people in the pool first until they are comfortable. Then we move on to the island to complete your skills in the sea, and then you can go for fun dives already.
Okay. So when you say
Yeah,
you do the, sorry, yes,
diving is supposed to be fun.
yeah. I mean, I see every time I see your videos and all your friends, definitely you look 100%. It looks like a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So when you say you do the training in pools, do you have to go to like a professional place that has a deeper pool, or can you do it in a house pool, or how does that go about?
Not recommended to do in a house pool. I think because if you go to like a pool that is suitable to do this training, right? Normally they use different tiles, they have different depths and stuff like that. House pool is normally not deeper than 1 meter. Technically, it's not conducive for training.
Right. So usually, how
Yeah,
deep should the pool be for proper training?
I think two and above is fine already. Yeah.
But there are places around Klang Valley and whatnot that you can go for this kind of training, right?
Of course. Mangkara, Subang, Shah Alam, all those places you can. Yeah.
Okay.
We will select the pool that's close to your area, so it's convenient for you.
Okay. So I mean, of course, diving. Yes, it's the things you see. It is very beautiful, and the fish and the corals and whatnot, right? Aside from the beauty part of it, what other are there any other benefits that come from diving?
Yeah. Do you know that you burn calories when you dive?
But
So
you
a
just
typical dive,
looking around there. How do you burn calories?
you still need energy, right? Okay. Let's say you go for typical in Malaysia is every dive is 45 minutes. So on a typical dive, you're kicking slow, you dive slowly, you enjoy yourself, you burn about 250 to 300 calories. But let's say if there is a strong current, you have to fight the current, maybe you burn up to 600 calories.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's actually, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, just quick one. We have a question. Do I need from Simon Chu? Do I need to know how to swim before I go diving?
Yes, you do. You do need to know how to swim before you go diving as a safety precaution. Yeah.
Okay. So do you have to be like a very strong swimmer, or just the basics will do, or?
Yeah, you just need to demonstrate to us to our satisfaction that you can swim, and then you can dive. You can start your diving license already.
Right. Okay. Yes, to all the viewers, like Simon just asked, as we go along, please do post your comments or questions, and we'll get our professional here to answer as well. Yeah. So yes, Pagan, you mentioned yes. Okay. You burn calories. You see all the beautiful things. Anything else that comes from it, from diving?
You can make new friends.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Above ground and underwater too. Sometimes you get these puffer fish or bad fish that will follow you the entire dive. They are your new friend too. Of course, honestly, when I first tried, you know why I get addicted to diving? Because it really calms me. Like in your water, you feel free under the water, right? It's almost like the feeling of astronaut when they are in outer space.
Right.
You're free there, and then nobody talks to you. You can enjoy your own peace. Yeah, that. And of
Okay.
course, it's always good to get vitamin D.
Vitamin, yes, of course. Together with vitamin C.
Yes.
So you mentioned, when you're diving, you can see the others around you and whatnot. How do you communicate with each other? Say, for example, if there's something wrong with your equipment, or you get caught on something, or you accidentally cut yourself, how do you communicate with the rest?
You cry off. No lah, we have dedicated hand signal for all this stuff. But I have to say, cutting yourself underwater is quite rare. It's very, very rare. Yeah, it's very rare. Okay, first thing, we always have dedicated hand signal, which we teach. It's universal hand signal. Like, okay, is this. Yeah, okay, is this.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, not this. For us, this is called, I want to go up to the surface.
Okay.
So these are all the hand signals that we will teach. We also teach marine life signals. Let's say if there is a lionfish, we do this. A lionfish.
Okay.
And remember, most marine animals are poisonous. Don't touch them. You're not allowed to touch them.
I know from some document. I know is this shark?
Shark. One hand only, one hand. Because the other hand, you're like, hello, hi, shark. Yeah, one hand, shark.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you go diving, is it? Sorry, we have another question first. For your first dive, were you afraid about going out to the sea or nervous? The first time you went out to the open ocean.
Okay, before you go out to the open ocean, you have to repeat your skills to an instructor near the beach, like what we call the beach side, right? So it's shallow water. Water. I remember very clearly when I first got that, because it's the first time I go underwater.
All right.
Right? Even though the sea is vast and huge, and you don't feel anything, but you will still feel a little bit of panic.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's just that moment when you go under the water. After that, when you start to breathe normally, using all your equipment and stuff like that, you'll be fine.
Well, I suppose once you get in the nervous part might be thinking about going into it, but once you're in the water, I think you just calm down from there, right?
Yes. I would say maybe due to unfamiliarity because you have never been under the water, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you go for your diving trips, is it always just with your friends, or do you have like different groups that come together and then, like you said, you make new friends? So it's just random people. For example, a company will say there's a 7 days driving trip, and anybody can go in, and then that's how you meet the friends, or just random people go in, lah.
I typically dive with people I know. Then after that, I upgraded to dive with people that I don't know. That I may randomly, if I feel stressed at work, I may randomly go to the island, just go dive there. So you dive with people that you don't know. That's how I
Right.
make friends last time. Yeah.
Okay. So say today I wanted to start to learn how to scuba dive,
Yes.
right? Is it the first thing I need to do is, of course, we have to look for a coach, yes. And then from there, do we look at where we're going to go, or what equipment we're going to get, or what would be the next step?
First, find an instructor, a good instructor. Second, complete your pool session first. Once you complete your pool session, then you can figure out what you need to buy. Because you haven't even been inside the pool, you don't even know what you feel comfortable with and things like that, right? So I advise just use the rental gear first, and then let the instructor assess you so that they can recommend the best equipment for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
What in terms of cost, is it an expensive hobby? It's just the diving alone. I mean, the plane flight, the hotels and whatnot, that's a separate thing altogether. But for example, your own equipment that has to be custom and all these things.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit like golf, but
Golf.
way cheaper than golf. Way cheaper than golf. Okay. I mean, for example, like me, when I was diving frequently, like 10 years ago, I don't have my own gears, so I rent gears. I always rented the gears. So if you don't go like dive often, you like maybe once a year and stuff like that, maybe you can use rental gear. But if you dive more frequently, I would advise you to get your own equipment because you are more comfortable with it. Remember, all equipment are there to serve you, right? So you must be familiar with your equipment. And once you have your own gear, you're familiar with it. And then after all that stuff, first you become more familiar with it. Second, it will sometimes actually help you because of your muscle memory. You already know your equipment.
Okay. Does the equipment vary a lot? I mean, is there like a really, like for example, golf you mentioned, right? There are like thousands of different types of clubs and irons and drivers and all that. So is it the same with scuba equipment as well?
Yes, same with scuba equipment, same with scuba destination. That's the very economical one to the very expensive one.
So in terms of the economical to expensive, is it that the quality of, I don't know, the air or the flippers?
Oh, no. Mainly your equipment, right? Whether you use rental or your own gear, even your own gear is better. Full range. You can get a mask as cheap as 150 to a mask as expensive as maybe 600 bucks, right? So it's up to your choice. In terms of scuba destination, let's say you go to Oman, you can go like relatively super economical like dormitory style of hotel to stay. But for diving, you still pay the same price now, right? You pay per dive now. Yeah. Until you can go like exotic places to dive. It costs you maybe like 10 USD, 10,000 USD for the entire trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long usually is a trip?
Locally, if you travel to West Malaysia, it's 4 days, 3 nights.
Okay, not too bad.
Yeah. But let's say if you have to fly
Mm.
Sabah and stuff like that, then maybe you want to go a bit longer, like 6 days, 5 nights, 7 days, 5 nights. All those are typical.
Okay. So, I mean, so for example, you go Sabah and whatnot, food is great, right? Seafood and whatnot. What about eating and diving? Do you do it before, a few hours before, or wait until after? What is usually recommended?
Don't go diving when you are hungry.
Oh,
First
okay.
of all, because you need energy to dive, So you don't skip your breakfast. You must have your breakfast before you go to your morning dive.
Okay. Okay, I think
Do we?
just went over this. Do we have to buy all equipment before we start out, or can we rent for our first few dives. So I think you mentioned earlier, it's better to go when you're going to the pool, you use their equipment. And if you go on holidays, you can use the rental equipment first, right?
This is a very good question. There are several things that you can buy.
Okay.
You can buy when you first start out. Yeah. First, your mask. Your mask is everything. Your mask is everything. Because if your mask is not a good one, then the entire dive that you do, then the water will get inside, or you can't see clearly, then you can't enjoy your dive, right?
Yeah, you can't just
Second
open
thing,
it, right?
you can, but who wants to do that the entire dive? It's very tiring, you know. I know someone that can dive with their mask half flooded, but it's a special technique, okay? Typically, people don't dive like that, right? The
Right.
second thing you can buy are your fins, because your fins are the ones that propel you underwater, right? And then a good fin can last you for many years. That you can buy. The third thing you should buy is not what we call a mouthpiece. So we have a regulator. That's where you suck in the air. Get the mouthpiece because you don't want to share the mouthpiece with other people. So you can rent the regulator. Yeah, get the regulator. Rent the regulator. It doesn't matter, but remember to change the mouthpiece to yourself, to your own. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
The three things. Yeah.
So we have another question from Mr. Terence Go. What if I dive halfway then pee? How to pee underwater? So yeah, I mean, from what I see from documentaries and whatnot, the scuba suit is like a full suit, right? So what did you have to go in the suit, or
you have full suit or you have shorty, which is half suit lah? Okay, to be honest, it is normal to feel the urge to pee underwater. My advice is just pee lah. There's nothing wrong with that. But please, someone just told me this earlier. When you pee in your full suit, the pee is not meant to be there to keep you warm, right?
right?
It's the water that is trapped inside, but not your pee. So please, if you pee in your full suit, remember to flush it out, please. Otherwise, you come out, you're going to smell like pee. But don't be afraid to pee underwater. Everyone does that. It's normal, okay?
Okay. So what's the deepest you've ever dived?
The deepest I've dived, I think, is 35 meters.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So, for example, in a scenario where, okay, say you're at 35 meters plus and whatnot, and there's a malfunction of equipment, for example, how fast, how much time do you need to get all the way back up?
It depends on what malfunction it is.
Right.
Depends on what malfunction.
If, say, the oxygen flow is not regular, for example.
Okay, the other thing is go to your buddy. You do not dive alone, right?
Right.
So you quickly go to your buddy, signal him that you have issue. Okay, so if it's your regulator issue or oxygen issue, then your buddy should share his air with you using another regulator, and then you begin your safety descent up.
Right.
Right, slowly, not one shot go out. Your lung will burst.
Okay. So Mr. Ashley is asking, what type of fish do you get to see underwater?
Nemo. I can show you all a lot of Nemos.
What is the most awesome sight that you've seen, for example, in your experience?
So far, manta and whale shark.
Whale shark.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Is it very rare to see them?
I think nowadays whale shark not that rare. You can always find them in either Redang or Tunggal.
Right.
Yeah, but manta, you have to go to Indonesia.
Right.
Yeah. But you can see eagle rays here in Tunggal. Yeah, it's similar to manta, but it's a smaller size. It's just smaller size.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when it comes to diving, are there any age limits, like kids or adults, senior people?
You can start diving as early as 10 years old.
Wow. Okay.
But of course, you need parental consent, and they can never dive alone. They have to dive with either a certified professional or dive with their parents who are also a certified diver.
Right. So they can. I'm just a diver. I cannot. If my son, I can't just bring him for diving, right? There has to be a certified professional with me.
Oh, if the parents, one of the parents are a certified diver, yes.
Okay.
Yes, he can bring his kids to dive.
It just needs to be a certified. It doesn't have to be like, for example, a dive expert or dive master and all this. Not necessarily that.
No.
Okay. What about the other end of the spectrum in terms of seniors wanting to dive? Is there a
Hey,
guideline
we
or?
have a diving legend that is still diving, and I think he's 75 years old.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah,
yeah. So age is not really a limit per se, lah.
no, your
It's just
ability to carry the airtime is lah.
right. Of course. And also,
Yeah.
I've heard some people talk about, oh, sorry, question first, Mr. KY Theo. Have you met anyone who brought sunglasses underwater? Oh, wow.
All these people are here to troll me, right? Yes, I have many times.
They bring their sunglasses underwater, is it?
I do that too.
For
Hey, you
fun or
can't blame us.
for purpose?
No, it's for practical purpose. After you end a dive, sometimes your boat is so far away and you're on the surface. The sun is very hot. Then you just change your mask to your sunglasses, lah.
Right. Okay.
Practical reasons, okay?
So it's useful to have our sunglasses when we go diving, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, besides scuba diving with all the equipment and the hoo-ha and whatnot, right? I've also heard about free diving. Have
Free
you
diving,
any
yes.
experience in free diving?
I'm not so familiar with that.
Okay,
It's another discipline, actually. Yeah.
right. Okay, before we go to free diving, Miss Jiali Tan is asking, can disabled people go diving?
I've actually participated in a campaign, like we bring disabled people to go diving. They can. It's just that they need a lot of help and assistance from like dive professionals.
Professionals.
Yeah, but it's such a heartwarming time because they finally feel free under the water. I mean, I personally assisted this guy who lost mobility on his leg,
Mhm.
but underwater, he refused to let us help him the moment he's underwater. Okay, he just used his hand
Mm.
and he managed to catch up with us. How cool is
Wow,
that, man?
wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
that's awesome. Yeah, it's not easy, but he managed to do that. It's so awesome.
That's great, great. Okay, so you mentioned you have not much experience with free diving, right?
Yeah,
However,
yeah.
no worries to our viewers. I think a few of you also want to know about free diving. So, as a special surprise, we also have another guest, right? And she's a free diver. She's been doing it for a while now. Let's welcome her in, and she can share her story as well. Let's welcome Louise.
Yay!
Hello, hi Rishi, hello Pagan.
How
Good
are
evening,
you?
everyone. Whoever's watching this.
Yeah. So we didn't put you in the poster, so we make you a star, right? Our surprise guest, free diver, one of a kind. So yes, Louise, please tell us a bit about your diving experience.
I am a scuba diver, a very normal, advanced scuba diver, also with SDI, and I am also doing I'm also doing free diving. I started learning free diving since 2007. Uh, that's when I took my level 1 with
Okay.
PADI. And then after passing it, I stopped for almost about a year.
Right.
Then only started again. I got to know some freediving buddies and then started training and whatnot. And then right now I am undertaking level 2 freediving with more channels.
All
Yep.
right. Okay. So just now you mentioned PADI, right? What exactly is PADI?
What exactly is PADI? PADI, it's
Paddy is a type of rice. Okay, skip. Skip.
It can also be defined as rice.
It's not PADI Sawa.
It's a scuba diving agency, and they
Yeah,
also
it is.
they also do provide free diving courses as well.
So they are the ones who certify you as dive master or free diving levels and all that,
Oh,
is it?
yes, depending which agency you go to, yeah.
Right.
And
Okay. We
then
have the
different agency, they have different requirements and whatnot, I
requirements.
believe.
All right. Okay. We already have a question. So yes, since we have the ongoing scuba diver and the free diver in her certifications, what's the difference between scuba and free diving? Who wants to go
Uh,
first? Luis?
So scuba diving, with scuba diving, of course, you have to have your equipment with you, your tank, and then your mask, your regulator, etc., etc. But with free diving, it's diving. It's just that you do it while holding your breath without any breathing equipment.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not free, as in no need to pay. It's just that the whole, the euphoria, and then the feeling that it's free.
It's free of
Yeah.
equipment.
Free of equipment.
That
Oh,
charge,
yes.
yes.
There are certain equipments we need, tools, like of course we also need our mask.
Right.
Some do it without. Those very professional and experts one, they can do it without. But I do need some, like nose clip,
Oh,
some of the safety tools like a buoy for us to rest.
Okay.
Because we freedivers are mostly on the surface.
Mm.
While scuba diving, you can be underwater for about 4 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But then freediver, you go down for a while, depending how long you can hold your breath. And when it's time, you have to give it up again. You have to rest, take a breather, calm yourself down, and then you go down again. So most of the time, we will be on the surface. So we need, buoys and whatnot to rest.
Rest. Okay. What's the deepest you've gone as a free diver? You know?
My personal best is at 26 meter.
Wow.
wow, good job. That's
And
that's very deep.
That's very deep. How long
Yeah,
did
it
it take
is.
you to get from when you started to hitting that 26-meter mark,
How long?
roughly?
I can't really tell though. I hit 26 is because it's just, was it last year or this? I think it's this year. Was it this year? In
Tango, right?
April. Yeah. Because of the MCO, I kind of confused last year and this year. I think it's this year,
Everybody
April.
get confused.
Tango, right? Yeah, then it's this year
Tango.
in April. So I went to Tango for my wave 2 with Molchanovs. The requirement is to hit 24 meter. But of course, with field discipline, I have not passed, sorry. I only passed one discipline,
Okay.
which is the one that I reached down at 26 meter. And prior to that, it was about 20. And then the next time I go open water again, then I managed to do 26. Yeah, in between there are, practice in the pool, confined water,
Yeah.
you can also at home practice your breathing skills, and breath holding and whatnot. Yeah, so about a year. Yeah.
So can, for example, if both of you want to go diving and one wants to do free diving, one wants to do a scuba, can you all both go to the same place and do both?
Yes, you can.
Well, it
Yes, you can.
depends. Well, if scuba divers are going to a spot where is you need zero descent, us we can't do that. We
Right.
Oh,
unless it's I'm not sure, but at our level, safety first. Not
Sure,
so
yeah,
comfortable
definitely.
at choppy waters because, like I mentioned, you have to be on the surface quite a lot. So if it's choppy water, you can't, you're not comfortable. It's difficult for you to be calm and manage your own breathing and whatnot. Yeah. So it
Okay.
depends, yes or no.
Right.
and also you can do the same trip. You can do free diving and scuba diving in the same trip. Like Luis is a free diver and a scuba diver, right? But
Right.
the key thing is you have to do your free diving before you do your scuba diving. If you already scuba dive, then you cannot do free diving immediately
that?
after that. The nitrogen level in your body will be different. Yes.
So what is the gap that you have to wait if you went scuba first?
I'm not sure. 48?
It depends how deep, how many dives, but to be safe, at least I would say at least 12 hours
Okay.
or more. Depend.
I think more.
how-
Yeah,
If I'm not mistaken, it's 12 to 18.
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
18.
Right. So yeah. I mean, you're mentioning, and of course, safety is a priority. So, like for example, Pagan, now you've reached the resort, right? You've checked in, you've settled your stuff, and you're going to go for a dive, all right? So what are the steps before you actually get to dive? Is the safety checks? What sort of safety checks are involved and so on?
Before we dive?
Was there a procedure or protocol, a standard procedure and protocol?
Of course. But the moment you reach into the resort, basically you should be briefed on the resort itself, like where's your room, where's the cafeteria, where's the diving site, and then we will bring you to where the dive shop is and dive center is, and then we'll tell you where the equipments are. So, and then we will give you specifically whatever equipments that you require. Right. Then after that, we will ask you to do your equipment setup and check your own equipment. Okay. Then we will, so checking the equipment, pre-dive checking equipment is very, very, very important. A lot of times things happen underwater is because things set up wrongly, that kind of stuff. That means you didn't check your equipment properly. Right. So that's the first thing that you have to do. And then second thing, to all the divers out there, please listen when people are giving you a dive brief, please. Then you know where you're going to dive, where you're going to descend, where you're going to ascend. It's very important. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. We had one question before Ashley's question. Oh, sorry. Actually, it was a comment. Make sure you look good. But I think with all the equipment on you, it's a bit hard to be very glamorous when you're going diving, right? Once you on your mask, you got your tank on you, your suit.
You can be glamorous. Just pay more to get better looking equipment.
That's true. Your own custom better looking equipment, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a question again from Jelly for Louis. What do you do when you experience underwater current while you're free diving?
Oh, hold on to the rope.
So there is a rope, right? There is a rope. I didn't know that.
There's a lanyard and there's a rope as a guide. On top of it is the buoy, which is the rope that's hold onto the buoy. But most of the time we will have to, like scuba diving, we have to check the sea condition first, whether or not it's suitable for diving. Of course, the sea condition and whatnot. Sure. If it's not suitable, depending on your levels, of course, then don't do it. Yeah. But then if, unfortunately, there's an underwater current, which I've not experienced before, logically thinking, I will hold on to the lanyard and surface.
Yeah.
So like for scuba divers, they go up on their own, onto the flippers. So when you're free diving, when you're going up, do you go up on your own or do you use the lanyard every time?
There's a few disciplines with free diving. So one is constant weight. Constant weight is where you fin down. You fin down without pulling the rope, right? So that's constant weight. And also there's free immersion. Free immersion is where you don't do much. You don't do finning at all. I think you just pull the rope down and then you pull it up again. So there's different discipline. And also with free immersion. With constant weight, you can also there's another discipline which is with monofin or no fin at all. Okay. So there's a few disciplines there with free diving.
Okay. Yeah.
But nevertheless, the rope is there.
I've always seen it. I mean, it's very. I watch a lot of these documentaries and whatnot, but I have a permanent fear of open water. Right? Even boats, I'll only get on a boat if I can see land at some point in time.
Okay.
So even like ferries or whatnot, I have to make sure I can always see land. Otherwise, I start getting a bit panicked.
But the more you do it, the more comfortable you will be.
Yes, that's what a lot of people say. I mean, you don't have a fear of water or swimming or open water or whatnot. Is to start doing it and keep at it, and they say you progress from there to get rid of the fear as well, right? Have you had people who, while you're diving, or if you're a dive instructor, you bring other people on and they get panic attacks, either on the boat or in the water?
In the water, yes. In the pool, yes. In shallow water, yes. In deeper water, yes.
Surface?
Yes. In surface, it's normally fake but But
So-
yeah,
Yeah, so
there
like, yeah, I mean, there is a buddy system and whatnot. But if say I'm diving and it all just starts closing in on me, right? What are the muscle memory or the quick thinkings that you would do to resolve it?
You mean you're feeling panic?
Yes. So I'm underwater now, not very deep, but I start panicking. It's like you can see I'm in a state already. What do you do?
A good dive guide and a good DM or good instructor will immediately notice that and come to your aid to calm you down.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
But because there's no verbal communication and you can't really pat them on the back or anything like that, how do you go about calming somebody down?
Normally, we'll hold on to their BCD, right?
What is the PCD?
Yeah,
Sorry?
yeah. It is an equipment. What is BCD called? Guy.
Oh dear.
Oh my God.
Where were you?
Breathable, something. Okay. Anyway, it's not that you see scuba diver, they always wear like a backpack style of things.
Right, yes, correct.
They hook on. Okay, that is called a BCD.
Okay.
So we'll normally hold on to the front part of the BCD, ask you to look into my eyes, ask you to breathe, take long, deep breaths. So that normally will calm most of them down.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Have you had any really scary situations?
Yeah, I was assisting Terence one time, and then we are at 25 meter, which is deep,
Right.
deep. And then this guy started to panic, and then I swam up to him, right? And then he told me he wants to go up, and he's planning to take off all his equipment, like his mask,
Oh,
all
right.
his, yeah. So it was quite a scary moment for both of us, I will have to say. Yeah.
Okay. If say for example, at 25 meters or 30 meters, they for a second, if you had turned your back on them and they started feeling the panic and they did remove their mask and took out the ventilator and whatnot, right? The
Yes.
oxygen. Does anything happen to them physically? Or is
If
it
for a short period of time they do that and we catch it early, and then we are able to assist them, then no. But I think the scariest thing in scuba diving, I'm not sure about free diving, but the scariest thing in scuba diving is you ascend. That means you shoot up too fast from the deck, right?
Okay.
Because of the pressure, your lung may burst.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, from watching all the shark movies, right? When they're trying to escape from the shark, they say you have to breathe out. They were free diving. I mean, they didn't have the scuba equipment, but when they were ascending, they said you have to exhale. Is that true? I don't know.
When the shark?
Deep Blue Sea, yeah, the movie Deep Blue Sea. I remember.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Why?
When they were captured in the base, which is at the bottom of the ocean or whatnot, and then they had to swim up really fast. The guy said, "Don't hold your breath, exhale or blow out as you're ascending." Is that?
Did he
accurate?
say why?
He said, "Otherwise, your lungs will burst or something to that effect."
That is for scuba diving.
Okay.
That is for scuba diving. You have to constantly breathe. You cannot hold your breath. But not for free diving, right?
They cheated me,
Yeah, because we go down with just one breath.
Right.
So as you go down, oxygen is being consumed.
Right.
While we go up, there's nothing for it to expand out. And other than the pressure, there's no gas for it to expand our lung anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't understand normally for free divers, we only exhale once we surface. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Simon. BCD is buoyancy control device.
Buoyancy control device. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, okay, we have another question. Jonathan Gann. Do we get cold from scuba diving or free diving? Do you feel the temperature?
Yes, we feel the temperature. In Malaysia waters, it's normally range between 28 to 30 degrees. But depending on the current, because sometimes you get warm current, sometimes you get cold current. And sometimes depends whether it's raining or it's just rain or the weather. The water may get to 26 or 27 degrees. That's when you will feel cold. So we will always advise you to wear like proper dive gear so that you are warm, from head to toe.
But sometimes if you feel the warm current, it could be something else as well, right?
You wish. If you're that near to the person, then yes lah, okay.
So, Luis, for free diving, because I'm not sure, I don't think because you don't have all the equipment as well on you, do you feel the differences in temperature, and does it affect you in any way?
Yes, of
Yes.
course.
That's when the wetsuit comes in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have, different thickness of wetsuit, and there's dry suit, but in Malaysia weather, there's no need for dry suit.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Great. So just to entice people to go diving, right? Can both of you share for example, your top 3 in Malaysia, your top 3 diving places or experiences that you would say, yep, it's right up there and it's worth it? Pagan?
If you're Malaysian and you're a scuba diver, please go to Sipadan. Yeah,
Right.
please go to Sipadan. People come all over the world to go Sipadan. Yeah, so that is my number 1. Number 2 and number 3, it will not be fair for me to pick any island because I actually like all of them. I like Tioman, I like Tenggoh, I like Perhentian, I like Redang. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, but so you mentioned Sipadan. Is there anything specific there that it's wanted to, that a lot of people all over the world want to go and see, or?
Yeah, Sipadan has more species of marine mammals there. Okay, and the Sipadan Island in itself is actually quite special, right? And then they have this thing called the turtle grave there that you should go and see. Yeah.
Is it what actually the name is? As in, it's a grave of turtles, or?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, Luis, what about you?
Listen to Pagan. She has more dive experience than I do. I was about to go Sipadan and then MCO, so I didn't get a chance to go, but I believe it's beautiful. I have a lot of stories about it. So far, very sadly, I've only been to a few islands in Malaysia, namely Tioman, Redang, and Tenggoh.
Right.
So sadly, the top 3 is that.
I've dived in many places in Malaysia though. I've dived in Rompin, I've dived in Kuching, I've dived in Miri, I dived in KK, not so well known places.
Right.
I've dived in Brunei too. Yeah.
So, Clement, do we dive in different places to see different types of fish? And what about sharks? I think when he says what about sharks, is it like Jaws kind of sharks that happens, or?
Great white sharks are only available in Australia. They are not available here. I would like to see a great white shark too, but they are not available in Malaysia. Most of the typical sharks you see in Malaysia are reef sharks, black tip or white tip sharks, right? And they are more scared of human than we are of them. So they won't be near you. Yeah. So don't worry. I am more scared of this thing called the triggerfish. That's the sign. It's triggerfish. This fish comes out of nowhere and it will be able to bite your fingers off. Your extremities, your fingers, your ears, your toes, your fins. It can bite through your fins. I'm actually more terrified of triggerfish, not sharks.
Have you seen them before?
I've seen one attack my body before.
Oh no! What was it, bad or?
Yeah, I think eventually it went up and then it bit one of another diver's leg. So he was bleeding all the way when he do his ascent, and he was still bleeding when he's in the boat.
Oh no! Okay, what about jellyfish? Because I've been stung by jellyfish before, right? So, and then sometimes I'm underwater, because when you're over water or whatnot, it's harder to see them, right? So underwater, is it very clear that you will be seeing a school of them there, or
yes,
do they just suddenly appear?
Unless it's those really tiny ones that you really cannot avoid. Generally, they are big enough for you to avoid them.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So, between the both of you and all your diving experience, have you had any funny moments that happened while you were diving?
I think the funny moments are in the comment right now. I saw one question. What if Nemo attacks me? From my brother. That means you're too near to the Nemo, bro. Get away from the Nemo.
Or if it's from my brother, maybe Nemo, and thought it's the same size. So they thought, it's a fellow fish,
No. It happens that the Nemo will attack you if you're too close to them if they're nesting
it?
and things like that. They will, yeah, you should just ask Ivan. He got attacked by Nemo so many times. They will just go to his mask and like that. You're too close. Back away. Back off.
Okay. Luis, any funny things or during your diving experience that you encountered?
When you're practicing, it's always funny. I believe at some point you see some, very cool, beautiful freedivers photos, but behind the
Right.
scene, it's not as cool, especially when you're learning it. And particular me, I don't know why, I was the face and I will have this permanent mask
I remember.
on me. This is dark, and then
It's fair.
mark that it only happens to me. I don't know why. I have to endure it for 4 months
Oh
before it
no.
goes normal again. Yes, thanks to one of the good deeds with MCO is that I can be hidden at home
Right.
while it goes off. Yeah,
Yeah.
and during the practice and learning, it's duck diving, especially. I remember when I was learning duck diving. It seems very easy, and while you're doing it, you're just with your butt up floating in the air. So the practice moment is I would say the funny moments. Like, you have to see the pictures to know it. And
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
not gonna share it here.
So actually, we
Yeah.
have another question from Ashley is whether you can dive naked
You can.
or with minimal attire. For example, just shorts.
I've seen a guy dive in G-string,
Oh dear.
but it is no. I think everywhere in the world they always say that on your 100 dive you should do a bikini dive.
Oh
Don't do naked. We are in Malaysia,
yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, yeah, I mean, thanks, for all the sharing. Okay, we have couple of final questions. Any of our viewers who have any questions, final questions to wrap up, please do post it. Clement, how long is free diving session usually, and how long is a session of scuba diving? So 1 round of diving for both free diving and scuba diving, from off the boat and back on the boat.
For us, we don't count the boat rides because the different dive points, right? So you count the moment you hit the water and the moment you exit the water. In
Right.
Malaysia, typically it's 45 minutes.
Okay.
Mm.
For free diving, Louise?
If we are off for training, we easily 2 hours
Wow.
in the water. Yes.
Okay. Great. Another question, Frank Liu. If he has not dived for a long time, can his license be cancelled?
If you are a recreational diver, it will not be cancelled. But my recommendation is, please get an instructor to do your refresher course before you go down, before you hit the water again. It's quite important. Yeah.
So it's like an exam you take once, and technically you're a member for life. But if you have had a long gap, you should do a refresher course first before going back out.
That's right. Yes.
Okay, great. Yes, so well, I mean that's about wrapping up our session. Thanks so much. Do you have any encouraging words for aspiring divers or those looking to start this hobby?
Start
Just
now
do it.
lah. Yeah. Don't need to
You've been
think,
locked
just do
down for
it.
so long already. What
I know,
are you
right?
waiting for?
Yeah, at least now we're moving from phase to phase quite fast. So with any luck, by end of the year or before end of the year, you all should be able to start doing again what you love, right?
For scuba diving, maybe have to wait for next year, unless you're willing, unless we can travel to East Malaysia, because now it's monsoon season,
Right.
so
right.
cannot dive in West Malaysia.
Okay. What are the seasons for West and East?
East, typically the whole year. I mean, when I say East, I meant mainly Tawau, is in Sipadan, that area, right? But let's say for West Malaysia, you normally can dive as early as end February, depending on the weather, till mid-October or late October. But November, December, January are normally the ones that we avoid.
Okay, great.
When
One final question. if you've lost your group, what should you do?
Standard up, bro. I want to scold him already. Your dive guy will always say, if you lost your group, and then you go and look for your buddy and look for your group, like ascend a bit, look for your group. If you don't find them within 1 minute, then you abort the dive. Okay, you ascend.
So once you ascend and then you see them there, can you just go back again?
We don't recommend that, lah.
Okay.
We don't recommend that. Yeah. So it's more recommendable for you to signal for the boat to pick you up.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so thanks very much for your time, Luis and Pagan.
Thank you.
Pagan for sharing your dive master experience and Luis for being our surprise mystery guest. I can see from the comments, there are a lot of people who are diving with you and they sound like fun people, right? Fun characters to go diving with.
I know, right? They're all trollers.
So thank you very much. With this, we'll end our dive session. Thanks again for your time. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we hope to see you again on our Coffee Talk sometime soon, yeah?
If you want to learn diving, remember to come find me, okay? I'll make sure I won't hold your hands.
All right. So there you have it. Thanks again, Luis and Pagan.
Thank you.
So there you have it, everybody. For those looking up to take up diving, you can drop us a message so we can connect you with our professional guests, Pagan and Luis. In the meantime, we hope you stay safe and stay healthy. We will see you again next Wednesday, same time, same place, for our Kingdom Coffee Talk. Have a great week, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.